Hello everyone, this is Parrish Black of the Inner City Crusaders, and Parrish Black, also known as Parrish the Prophet. Today is October 28th, 2011, a Friday morning, time 8:42 a.m. This video is about my drawings, the drawings that I made for my dreams. Today I felt led that I should show you, the YouTubers, all of my dream drawings. So if your guys did not understand what I was trying to say in my videos pertaining to my visions, dreams, prophecy, and stuff like that, maybe you guys can understand what I'm speaking about through my drawings. Stay tuned, because I have plenty of drawings to show you. Okay, all of my dream drawings can be found in Parrish Prophecy 1 through 5. This first drawing that you see here is a drawing of our sun. In this dream, I seen our sun go through a severe case of solar flares. Okay, so after the solar flares, something came in front of our sun and it clipped it. And a minute or two later, when the object that eclipsed our sun have gone away, I was able to see 3 or 4 planets around our sun. After the 3 or 4 objects were more or less away from our sun, I began to see a cloud that was shaped like a hand, and in this dream I'll call this hand the hand of God. There's another drawing about our sun, or something that appeared to be our sun, and right next to it I seen a very bright cloud behind this cloud. And when I looked upon what was in the sky, it appeared to me that there were 2 suns, the visible sun and another sun behind this cloud. Okay, this is the last drawing about the sun. In this dream, I believe this was our sun. Well, in any case, this object was very huge and appeared to have many sunspots upon it. And it gave off a glow, a circular halo. Next up is my moon drawings. Here is the first moon drawing. The moon is here, and in this dream I seen a very huge comet that had flown past our moon. This comet was very spectacular in the night sky, and I believe debris from the comet's tail had hit our moon. Okay, here's another dream drawing, which was divided in 2 parts. I had it in the same night when I dreamt this. The first stage of this dream was that I seen a comet approaching our moon, and you see the moon is a crescent, and this same comet has swirled around our crescent moon. In this dream, I seen, I believe, a full moon rising in the sky, and above it, or next to it, I seen a comet approach the moon. In this dream, I seen an asteroid approach our moon. As you see, our moon is in the background, and this asteroid was quite huge. This thing also may have been a meteor. And there are people praying and asking God to please don't let this object hit our earth. In this dream, I found myself at some shoreline or at some beach, and in the distance I seen a half moon. As you see, the bottom of the moon was lit and the top surface of the moon was darkened, and on the dark side of, or the shadow part of the moon, began to emanate steam or smoke off its surface. In this dream, I believe something had placed a shadow upon our moon. I can't really say if it was the earth that cast her shadow upon the moon. Well, in any case, I felt when I dreamt this that I need to draw it. In this dream, I found myself standing in front of my house here in Brooklyn, New York, and I looked down in the eastern sky. It was daytime, and as I looked down in the horizon with my telescope, I seen, I believe, our moon. Our moon was huge, and on the upper left side of the moon, I seen a geyser or something that resembled a volcano that had erupted. But I did not see this geyser or this whatever it was as being red. I seen it as white, like maybe steam or water emanating off the moon surface. In this dream, I stood outside at night and I looked up into the night sky, and I noticed that our moon, or something that appeared to be our moon, was extremely far away. In this dream, I seen, I believe, our moon, as you see there, in a crescent form, and I noticed a very bright spherical object was approaching our moon. Next up are drawings I made about stars or space. What you see before you is a supernova that have gone off in outer space. Why I call this a supernova? Well, because when I was dreaming this, I believe my angel had told me that this thing in the sky is a supernova. And as you see, there's multiple stars inside this thing here, or whatever they are. But I seen it in my dream. This drawing is about the great number of stars that I've seen beside the Orion constellation and Taurus constellation. Okay, right here you see the 3 belts of Orion. Well, beside the belts of Orion were all of these stars that appear practically from nowhere, and I believe the moon was extremely bright when I had this dream. In this dream, I heard a very loud, like sonic boom outside of a building that I was in. And I had gone outside, and I seen a very bright flash that resembled a five-pointed star. This incident in my dream took place over a city, over an American city. And after the sound and the appearance of this flash of light, I seen a brownish, grayish, whitish, small planetoid or spherical object appeared. And this object in this dream, I believe, gave off wind, or when it was spinning, it somehow like the solar winds. Well, this thing was like, projecting wind from itself. I guess, how would I describe it? I guess its passage, when it passed the Earth, it done something with our atmosphere, have maybe caused great winds to take place upon the Earth. But anyhow, some type of wind was coming off this spherical object. Okay, in this dream, I believe I was in Brooklyn, New York. And as you see here, I believe this is a hill. And this light bow, or this bow of light, I believe was fog. And in this dream, I seen new stars formation I have never seen in my waking state over Brooklyn, New York. You must understand that we Brooklynites don't have many stars to look upon because of the great deal of light pollution that New York City gives off. So we barely see any stars. But in this dream, I was more or less flabbergasted because I could not believe how many stars I seen in this dream. And this is a dream I had. Well, in this dream it was nighttime. And right after this incident in my dream, I seen a policeman who was staring up at, believe it or not, 3 planets. Okay, here's a policeman. The policeman is a black person. I believe he's a NYPD police officer. He's standing on top of a park step, and as you see, there's multiple stars in the background. As you see, also he's wearing a short shirt, a short sleeve shirt, and there are the 2 planetoids. After the cop have observed the 2 planetoids, and also after I observed the 2 planetoids, I seen one more spherical object in this dream. Okay, in this same dream, I gazed my eyes upon a woman who was inside a car that appeared to stop suddenly. And as you see, she's by the park, and she was gazing upward. As you see, a lot of stars. And when she gazed upward, this is what she seen, and this is also what I seen too. A very huge planet. And on this planet, I believe I seen volcanoes. The thing was huge. I couldn't believe it. In this dream, I seen, I believe, a foreign moon in our solar system. And the Earth's sky was cloudy, very grayish. And this bright object was so bright that it was almost able to shine itself through the very dark clouds that I see in the sky, which tried at least to cover this brighter object that was in space. In this dream, I also seen a brighter object. It was brighter than the other object that tried to shine itself through our clouds. Okay, in this drawing, which is a different dream, I found myself standing in front of this fence, this very tall fence, and in a distance, or inside, this area that was in the background, I seen trucks moving about, and I believe this was some type of landfill or construction site. Then after I gazed upon the fence and the things that were inside the fence, I looked up and I believe I seen our moon. And to the left of the moon, I noticed our sun. After I had taken notice of our moon and our sun, the sky became somewhat grayish. And then all of a sudden, one comet appeared, then a second, then a third, then a fourth, and a fifth. And before I know it, it must have been at least close to 10 comets just appearing in the sky all at once. In the same dream, after the comets had crossed Earth's sky, I began to take notice of these reddish or brownish, I would say, I guess, baseball-sized globs of, droplets that came from the sky. Okay, this is another drawing about things that looked like teardrops from the sky, but these things were like I said, the size of a baseball. But in this particular dream, which predates the drawing I just showed you guys that had the reddish or brownish droplets, these guys were like brownish or like golden, and these things I believe were like acid rain, and it came from a gray cloud. Okay, in this dream, I looked out my window. I believe I looked out my window. This dream is quite old. I believe I had this dream in 2005. Well, in any case, I seen two bright objects in the sky. Then the next thing that was shown to me in this dream was now I seen, I believe, one of the two objects form a tail, like a comet tail. And before I left this dream, I seen three comets together, bunched up together, and they were flying across Earth's sky, or at least they were quite visible. A person would really have to use a pair of binoculars to see them. Okay, in this dream, I must stress that the dream drawings that you guys are watching is not necessarily, I haven't really put them in order. I just more or less put them in a group that, matches each other. So if I had some drawings about our sun, I was gathering all my drawings about our sun. drawings that you guys have seen about the moon. I gathered those drawings and put them together, and without any chronological order. Okay, so in this dream I seen comets falling out of the sky, and also in this dream I believe I heard someone say, I don't think it was an angel, but I heard a man say in this dream that missiles are also coming in the sky. So the comets was coming across the Earth's sky, and missiles was also crossing the Earth's sky. So it was a combination of missiles and comets streaking across American skies. In this dream, I noticed that it was nighttime, and all these stars appeared, this lit up. These stars lit up the night sky. Then after I took notice of these bright stars, then I noticed a comet that's streaking across the sky. Okay, next up are drawings I made about meteors. In this dream, this person here is me. I was coming out of a building somewhere located, I believe, in Brooklyn, New York. And when I came out this building, I noticed a meteor streaking across the sky. Okay, here's another drawing of meteors that fell, meteors that were falling out of the sky. And in this dream, I took notice of a very humongous meteor that is plowed through Earth clouds. And while it was descending out of the sky, I noticed multitudes of tiny meteors follow it. I couldn't believe it. In this dream, I took notice of the very dark gray clouds. And after I took notice of the very dark gray clouds, this thing just blasted itself through the dark clouds. I mean, this thing was gigantic. I think I almost had a heart attack in this dream from watching this thing descend out the sky. Okay, next up are drawings I made about red, strange looking objects appearing in Earth's sky. Well, this first thing you see here is something I call a red dragon or a red snake. In this dream, this thing was swirling across the sky. Actually was swirling itself over Brooklyn, New York, and it was so bright that it shone, well, at least it shined its redness upon the roofs of people's homes. This thing was seen by me in my dream at night. And here today, October 28th, 2011, I believe what I seen so many years ago, as we watch it now, was an aurora borealis. I believe 2 days ago, a lot of states here in America, Alabama, New York, Arkansas, a lot of people took notice of northern lights that appeared in the sky, which is quite unusual. Okay, in this dream, I was standing with a few black women, and we took notice of this huge bubble-like thing way in the distance. As you see, it was reddish or orange, or yellowish, or a combination of all three, or two. And in this dream, none of us could understand what it was. Well, here, and mind you that this dream was given to me in September 10th, 2011. Well, here in October 28th, 2011, I believe that what I seen in my dream was actually an aurora. Why I say this? Because I seen some videos, I believe 2 days ago, which was taken by, I guess, a few people that seen auroras here in America, and I came across a video that a person had taken that shown in the distance a reddish bubble-like thing like this. I couldn't believe it, which I will show you guys right after this one. As you see there, the red glow in the horizon. Look at that, that's like my drawing. This dream, I believe I was in South America somewhere. Well, in any case, I looked up in the sky and I seen this. In this dream, I seen two objects. I seen the first object, which is this spherical object, and behind it was a red object that had the zigzag dark lines on the surface. And I believe these two objects were close to the Big Dipper. Or they hail from the Big Dipper direction. Here's another drawing of a red object that was in the sky. In this dream, I seen this very red object in the night sky, and next to it were these two white-looking orbs or planetoids. In this dream, I seen our solar system. And the next and last thing I seen in this dream was this red object coming towards our solar system. And this red object had plowed through our solar system and knocked some of the inner planets off their course. In this dream, believe it or not, I found myself in outer space. I was hovering over our Earth, and I looked ahead of me and I seen in the distance this object, this reddish object that looked a little bit like a distorted diamond. And in this dream, I found myself here in Brooklyn, New York, and I looked up in the sky and I seen all these clouds. And I looked further up and I seen our moon, which looked almost horizontal, and I seen the airplanes make a quick left turn, and above the airplane was this very bright red small dot in the distance. In this dream, I stood on top of my stoop here in Brooklyn, New York, and I looked across the street and I noticed the homes across the street from my house. And I looked up, I looked up into the sky, and I noticed the planet Saturn. I noticed its ring, which is quite unusual because Saturn is so far away, but in this dream I seen it up close where I was able to see its ring. And besides Saturn was this very bright object. In this dream I didn't know at first what it was. Then I believe my guardian angel had told me that this object in the sky is actually the planet Venus. Next is a drawing about Venus again, but in this dream I was inside a building and I was looking through this building window, and I noticed our moon, as you see here, is on the right, and then an elderly lady beside me, She stood on my right. She told me to look up in the sky. And she said, well, this object is Venus. And I told her, no, this is not Venus. And she said, look up in the sky again. And I looked, and I noticed that this was Venus. And it was very close to the Earth. This time, it was not shining like a bright star, but this time it appeared, or it showed itself as a bright, white, spherical object beside our moon. Next is a planetoid or moon that appeared in space, and it flown very close towards the Earth. It was so close that in this dream I was able to see some of its craters. Once again, this thing came from nowhere. In this dream, I noticed 3 objects near the Big Dipper. And as you see, I noticed these 3 objects at night. Then the next day in this dream, there were no more, well, there weren't any 3 objects this time around. It was just 2 objects. And these 2 objects stood beside our sun. And I think these 2 objects had grown a very large radius, and I think it affected our sun in a way that it kind of has swollen up our sun in a way. But in this dream, I actually believe that even though I seen 3 at night, and I seen 2 in the morning, probably is because the third one may have disintegrated or may have moved on somewhere else. In this dream, I believe I was in an inner city, and I was inside a park. And in this dream, I noticed these objects in the sky. And when I looked up further into the sky, I seen this gigantic, eerie, monstrous, moon-like object in the sky, and this thing was making noise. It was hissing, and it was projecting or ejecting off the surface a geyser or something like that, and this thing was unbelievable. Okay, in this dream I see 3 planets in the sky, and I believe the planets that you see here on the right side of this drawing are more or less reflections of the 3 planets here. Okay, in this dream, I looked upon a magazine that resembled an old Time Life magazine. You know, the real huge magazine called Time Life back in the days. Well, anyhow, on the cover of the magazine was these 3 pictures of black orbs that was found in space. Okay, after I gazed upon the 3 spherical objects which was featured on this magazine, the next thing that was shown to me in this dream were these 2 planetoids that appeared in Earth's sky. Okay, the next thing that was shown to me before I left this dream were people staring at the objects in the sky. And I believe that the thing that was in the sky had affected the people's fates somehow. I believe the things in the sky was emitting radiation because the people's face, or at least the skin over their eyebrow and below their eyeball, had risen, the skin had risen, I would say about 2 or 3 inches. And then these people that looked upon the objects in the sky had screamed out, and then they all collapsed upon the ground. I think they died from staring at the 2 objects that were stationed in Earth's sky. This is a different dream. In this dream, I see my nephew. He came in from school. He came into the house, and one of the first things I noticed by his face that he was displaying blisters upon his face, and he also was displaying blisters in the back of his neck. In this dream, after I gazed upon my nephew, his mother told me that she was going to take her son to the emergency. Okay, after the two objects eclipsed the moon and the sun upper left-hand side exploded, and some black soot or whatever came off the sun. I mean, the explosion was loud. And after the explosion, after these black residue came off the sun, the Earth's atmosphere rippled. And then there was a slight earthquake upon the Earth. After the upper left side of the sun exploded, the Earth was bombarded by meteor showers. And in this meteor shower, some meteors have fallen upon the Earth. The last thing I seen inside this dream was this particular meteor. This meteor was falling out of the sky, and I believe this meteor was about to hit a woman that was standing upon a car. And then I woke up from this dream. Okay, this is a different dream. In this dream, I believe I was in Brooklyn, New York, and the sky above me was somewhat cloudy, but the clouds were not dark. They were more or less like pinkish. And I noticed 3 dark spherical shadows were moving over the clouds. After the 3 spherical objects, shadow, left my sight, I began to notice that the clouds began to race or began to move quickly. The clouds were moving so fast that they were ripping apart in the sky. Next, I seen, I believe, a satellite fall from the sky. And the satellite had embedded itself in the ground. This is a different dream. In this dream, I gazed my eyes upon, I believe, a church. And there were things above the church or in earth sky. It was partially cloudy out inside this dream, and I took notice of this blue-like planet or blue-like star, which was very close to the earth. And this object, this bluish object, had these metallic spherical objects beside it. These spherical objects had spikes upon them. Okay, the next things that I'd like to show you are my drawings about UFOs and aliens. In this dream, which was given to me in November 22nd, 1991, I believe I was in Egypt, as you see the pyramid, and I took notice of this strange looking alien. This strange looking alien was trying to hide behind, or at least partially partially hid itself behind a brick wall. And this particular alien reminds me of the aliens that were in the movie called District 9. This alien looked quite similar to the aliens that were in the movie called District 9. In this dream, I believe I was by the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and I seen a humongous object floating in the sky. This object reminded me of a bridge, or a partial bridge, and this thing I call inside this dream a UFO. And I believe this dream was given to me in December 8th, 2005. This thing was floating across, I believe, the East River. In this dream, and I'm sad to say, but I believe I did not put this drawing inside one of my dreams. I've forgotten to do this. Well, in any case, you guys will see the drawing anyhow. In this dream, I believe I was in a section of Brooklyn called Coney Island, and I seen these two objects in the distance. It was nighttime, and as you see, I seen a triangular object and I seen a cigar-shaped object. Both of them were in the sky together. Okay, in this dream, I'd seen an ink and some type of Egyptian tablet, and above these two things, I seen our moon, and there was something beside our moon, like a wisp of smoke or cloud, and above it, I seen a pyramid with these three beams. Now, I must tell you guys that this particular drawing is in my prophecies. I believe in Prophecy 5, which is on the internet. But once again, I must stress or say that this is not the original thing I seen in my dream. I more or less had to remember what I've seen, and because I could not find my original drawing of these things that you are watching right now, so I had to remember what was going on inside this dream. So as I have drawn this and posted this in the internet, some days later, after I have drawn this and more or less put it out there, I came across my original drawing. Okay, here is the original drawing. Things are a little bit different, or placed different positions, but more or less the same thing. There's an ink, there's an Egyptian tablet. In this one, I remember that there were two pyramids. So like I said, this is the original drawing. The first pyramid, as you see here, has no beams inside it, and above this one, this giant pyramid had beams in it, and beside the pyramid was this horseshoe-like object, like a wisp of smoke, and above this horseshoe object sat our moon. This is a different dream. In this dream, I was at a party, and this party was giving, I believe, in someone's penthouse, and I've gone outside onto the porch, and this porch of this penthouse had a small pool, and in the distance I noticed mountains, and after I noticed the mountains, I seen something whisk down from the sky. And then this object that whisked down from the sky came close to this building and it shot up in air, and I was able to see its underbelly. And before this thing left my sight, I believe the beings inside this UFO aircraft told me that they are watching me. And this maybe explain why I've been given so many UFO video footage over my house. I must stress that I have 10 UFO videos, and all except one were videotaped over my house here in Brooklyn, New York. And the other one was taped more or less 2 or 3 blocks from my home. So in this dream they told me that they are watching me, and in real life or in my waking life they proved themselves to be truthful by saying that they are watching me, and they are truly watching me. For whatever reason, I believe these beings that are watching me from space are some of my guardian angels. In this different dream, I was in a home. I'm not sure if I was inside my home or a friend's home. Well, in any case, I looked through the window and I noticed these white cloud-like, nearly spherical or cigar-shaped or elongated or nearly elongated objects in the sky. I believe these things were a fleet of UFOs. In this dream, the fleet of UFOs stood motionless inside Earth sky. This is my last UFO dream drawing, and this dream was given to me in August 7th, 2011. And in this dream, I believe I was in outer space. And this dream, in my personal opinion, was a very beautiful dream. Why do I say this? Well, because I was in outer space. I seen a great deal of stars. It was very quiet out, very peaceful. The stars were just beaming with their brightness. And then I took notice of the Earth and the moon. Now, the moon was rocking back and forth. And then I noticed that our Earth had tilted by 10, I believe, by 10 degrees. It just tilted. Then after I took notice of the moon and our Earth, I noticed these 3 dark UFOs that were flying around in outer space. And then I woke up from this dream. Okay, this is a different dream. This dream is about a cloud that I noticed in my neighborhood. This cloud was very long and it was shaped like a boomerang. And after this cloud had more or less dissipated, I took notice that there was a humongous airplane behind it. This is a different dream. In this dream, I was in Manhattan, New York, and I was around the NBC building, I believe more or less around 5th Avenue as well. It was daytime, and I took notice of these cloud-like things, or whatever they were. They were more like steam or whatever. Anyhow, they was just pouring out of the sky. And I heard a man say in this dream that these things were liquid fire and that they was falling out of the sky everywhere upon the earth. Or this cloud or steam or whatever they were, but he identified them. He called them liquid fire. And they were just pouring down from the heavens all over the earth. I mean, in this dream, I seen so many people run into the New York City subway system just to avoid from being fried alive by these things called liquid fire. In this dream, I noticed my brother and his wife. I believe they were somewhere in Brooklyn, New York, or another inner city, American inner city somewhere. And it was nighttime, or the clouds were just unusually gray or dark, or maybe it just became dark, very dark out. Well, in any case, I took notice of this thing. I know it looks like a drawing of a tidal wave or something, but actually this thing was a big steam cloud. Okay. And this is my conception of my brother and his wife. And all these homes were connected. And this thing was just coming out of the sky. This is a different dream. This dream showed me this huge white cloud, I believe, that came from the sky, came down upon the earth, and it was moving very fast. And after I took notice of this cloud, I began to run. And the next thing that happened inside this dream, I seen 3 spherical objects floating in the sky. And I believe this dream drawing was given to me in August 18th, 2011. Okay, this is a different dream. This dream was given to me a long time ago. This dream showed me things falling out of the sky. In this dream, it was such a beautiful day out. And the last thing I seen in this dream were charged item or burnt up metal pieces that had something to do with these things falling from the sky, which I interpret later as being the space shuttle that just blew up in, I believe, in 2003. Different dream. In this dream, I seen an object fall out of the sky. This object, I believe, was a Russian spaceship. And I believe this Russian spaceship fell in, well, I believe it crashed in Brooklyn, New York. Different dream. This is a dream which was given to me some time ago. In this dream, I took notice of 2 tornadoes here in Brooklyn or in New York City. And this dream, in my personal opinion, was fulfilled in 2007 when New York City had gone through a powerful storm, and one tornado had touched down somewhere in Brooklyn, and I think another one touched down somewhere in Staten Island or in Long Island. And the last time a tornado had touched down in Brooklyn was like in the late 1800s. This is a different dream. In this dream, I believe I was inside an American inner city. And this dream was given to me in June 2nd, 2010, I believe. And it's in Parrish Prophecy 5, I believe. And this dream showed me that there were these slanted, or how would I say, somewhat vertical or horizontal hurricane type clouds. It was kind of hard to describe what these things were doing. Well, in any case, what was behind these clouds were these dark, almost bent clouds. And it was so much stuff going on in the sky, I couldn't believe it. But in this dream, I barely seen anyone running around. It's like the city was vacated. Different dream. This dream was given to me here in the year 2011, and in this dream I recall that I stood on the top stoop of my house here in Brooklyn, New York, and I looked across the street and I noticed some type of funnel or whatever this thing was just spinning around. It was like almost like, it looked like a hurricane cloud, but it was tiny. And it was just kind of hard to describe it. And it was just spinning around like this. And it was producing an arm, which was coming down behind these buildings. Okay, in this same dream, after I took notice of that funnel or whatever, funnel cloud, whatever it was, I seen this tornado materialize. And the arm of the tornado, or the funnel part of the tornado, came over these homes. And it was heading straight towards me. And there was so much wind, it was like this thing was just sucking up everything up into the cloud above it. This was an awesome sight. It was terrifying to look upon. I had to leave this dream almost immediately after I took notice of this thing coming towards me. And this dream is in Parrish Prophecy Part 5. Different dream. This dream was given to me in July, I think 31st or July 3rd. I'm sorry, I think it was given to me July 3rd, 2010. In this dream, I was in a room with strangers. We were on a top floor. I think this place we were all in was an apartment building. And these strangers that were with me, I believe, were people that ran off the streets and ran into this apartment building. And I guess they were blessed to find out that there was this couple in this apartment on the top floor of this building. But I sensed in this dream that practically everyone else had cleared out this building. So in this dream, I seen a black man and his wife or his girlfriend and their child. They had boxes of food and clothes that they just purchased some time ago in this dream. And the couple were telling us that they were not going anywhere. And then I heard someone say to the man of this apartment to come and take a look at his skylight. So he had gone to a part of his apartment and he looked up in the ceiling where the skylight was located, and he seen this will-o-wisp of a cloud, this very thin, whispery, almost horseshoe-like cloud was just moving in the sky. So after the guy took notice of this thing, the next thing that took place in this dream, that I seen him, his wife, his child, in a tree, living in a tree. I believe he had ran into Prospect Park. Prospect Park is located here in Brooklyn, New York. And this time around, he only had one box with him. And then I woke up on this dream. Different dream. This dream was given to me in 2009, and I stood on the top stoop of my house here in Brooklyn, New York, and I noticed these half-arm or half-circular orange or reddish clouds. In my opinion, these things looked like they were part of a solar flare, or looked like they came off the sun. It was kind of hard to tell exactly what these things were, but they were huge and they were glowing in the sky. Okay, this is a different dream. This dream was given to me in July 8th, 2010, and is in Section 10, Parrish, Future Prophecy, Part 5. And in this dream, I was looking up into the sky. There was a very bluish sky out, and I took notice of these things, these half-arm or half-circle, misty-looking things just floating around in the sky. And I took notice of a half a moon, and I believe our sun, this may have been our sun, but it looked like it was coming out of an eclipse, some type of solar eclipse. I know it's impossible for this to happen when the moon is way down here. So in this dream, I believe that there were planets crossing our solar system, or planets that were between the Earth and our sun. Okay, this is a different dream. I think it was given to me, I can't really tell. I have to find out, but it could have been given to me maybe in 2004. I believe the dream has something to do with a volcano that had gone off somewhere on Earth. And I believe this volcano had produced pink skies over Brooklyn, New York. And in this dream, I distinctively recall that my ears felt like clogged up. It was during school season, because I seen kids with their school uniform, and they were just looking up into this pink sky. I mean, it was like, the sound was like, it was just, in this dream, it was, my ears just clogged up. And it was extremely quiet. And the people just staring up at object in the sky. I truly believe that a volcano will go off, or several volcanoes will go off. But actually, I was told in one of my dreams that a volcano will go off, and that the ash cloud will float over Brooklyn, New York, and I guess the rest of America, and that this particular volcano will be the cause of famine in the United States of America. Different dream. This dream was given to me in May 28, 2010. And I was somewhere in Brooklyn, New York, and I was in someone's apartment. And I looked out the apartment window and I noticed that the sky turned pink for about 4 seconds. And then it turned back to, I guess, a normal blue sky. And then another, I guess, a minute afterward, the sky had turned pink again for about 4 seconds. And then after I took notice of the sky turning pink, from blue to pink, and pink to blue, I noticed this mist, this nearly curled up mist, this floating past the window. And as you see here, what was going on in the sky, I believe, which took place around 5 a.m. inside this dream. Why do I say this? Because I looked upon a clock inside this apartment. I was a stranger inside these people's apartment. I think it was a father and his daughters, and they were awoken out of their sleep because of what was going on in the sky. I didn't hear any thunder. The sky was just turning pink, and it turned blue again, and then it turned pink. And it was morning time, and I seen a clock in their kitchen, and I believe it read 5 a.m. And some of the people I seen outside had, they were wearing their pajamas, and they're all just outside looking up, and this thing flown past the window. And this is the same dream. And once again, I'm going to say, like, the sky turned from blue to pink, and pink to blue, and on and on and on. And inside this dream, some people was just fleeing Brooklyn, New York, and they was just trying to steer clear, or just not to find themselves in a midst of people. They were more or less, the individual I seen leaving Brooklyn or leaving people were like businessmen, some inner city blacks, and I guess some inner city whites. And I picked up that they did not want to be stuck among mobs of people. They just wanted to be by themselves because of what was taken on in space or in the earth sky. I think this thing has something to do with our sun, or the second sun, or Planet X. Different dream. This dream is not a dream per se. This is more an intuition, because in this dream, which was, in this, I call sounds that I hear from the future as intuition stories. In 2009, I was on top of my stoop, which is not a story. It was a real thing that took place. I was on top of my stoop, tying my shoe, and then psychically, I heard a powerful, explosive sound, and then my mind's eye revealed this to me: a streak of lightning, a horizontal lightning bolt, this streak across the sky. Okay, so in my mind's ear, I heard a thunderous thunderclap, and in my mind's eye, I seen this horizontal lightning bolt flash across the sky. Different dream. This dream was also, this is another intuition story. In 2010, I consolidated all of my dreams and I broke them up in 4 parts. And the 4 parts that I broken up my dreams into are these. Number 1, I made a collection of dreams and I placed them in a book called Space Dreams. Then number 2, I placed all my dreams I had So it has something to do with the sky as sky dreams, and I placed those dreams in the book. And number 3 is about all the dreams I had that had something to do with the land, and I placed that in a land book. And then finally I had a 4th book, which was about all the dreams I had something to do with water, flooding, ocean, sea, stuff like that, and I placed that in a water book. And then in 2010 I found out which were my top 10 dreams, and the top number one on the top, well, the number one thing that was given to me, as intuition or whatever, dreams, whatever, were sounds from the future. The number one thing that was given to me, in vision-wise or in, I guess, dreams or whatever, were sounds from the future. The number one things that was given to me were not dreams, but were sounds, powerful, booming, bone-shattering sounds. And in this situation here, I was in a McDonald's restaurant located on the corner of Flatbush and Fulton Street here in Brooklyn, New York, downtown section of Brooklyn, New York, and I was having breakfast. And I heard in my mind's ear a powerful, explosive sound. It was so bone-shattering to me that I almost instantaneously wanted to duck for cover underneath one of those McDonald's table I was sitting across from. And then in my mind's eye, I seen this. And the scene that you see back here is real. This is the Brooklyn Clock Tower. There were cars here. But in my mind's eye, I heard the sound. And in my mind's ear, I seen a blanket of flame materialize over these cars. And I've never seen this before in my entire life. A blanket of flame just materialized. And this is in, I think, Prophecy 3 or 4, under the title Intuition Stories. Okay, this is an actual dream which was given to me in January 20th, 2010. And in this dream, I seen a very large blanket of flames appear over an American city. And before I left this dream, I seen white children and black children flee the city where this thing appeared over. And they were heading toward a park. I mean, this thing was humongous. And the funny thing about this thing, in this dream, I did not feel any heat from it. It just appeared, boom, in the sky. And this is like similar to the blanket of flame that I picked up as an intuition thing. I mean, this thing, I have to really pull the camera all the way back for you guys to take a look at it. This thing nearly covered the whole sky. And, before this thing appeared in my dream, I was taking notice of the beautiful blue sky. It was very nice out. It was very warm. It wasn't hot. It was just very warm out in this dream. So I think this took place somewhere in a spring or summer time. Next is another intuition story. This intuition story had taken place inside my house here in Brooklyn, New York. And this intuition story was given to me in June 6, 2010. And I was inside my bedroom working on my prophecies. And then all of a sudden, my mind's ear had picked up a humongous explosive sound. And then my mind's eye had shown me this thing. Now, the sound and this thing practically scared the living daylights out of me. Because up to this point, in 2010, this thing was the loudest thing I ever heard psychically. And it frightened me. And this thing just appeared in front of my curtains. These are my curtains here. And in the center, well, it was like also a bubble thing, like a bubble sound is caught up in some type of bubble form, and in the middle of it, it was this flash of light, like flame. This thing was awesome. Okay, the next thing I am showing you guys and gals is a object that looked like a helicopter airplane combo, and this thing was descending out of the sky. Actually, was descending out of Brooklyn sky, Brooklyn, New York. And in the front of it, it was blowing out smoke. Actually, the first thing I noticed about this particular dream was that I seen a big white cloud, and then I seen this thing emerging from the cloud, and this thing finally landed somewhere in Brooklyn, and I seen military men exiting out of this airplane helicopter combo object. In this dream, I seen a small airplane crash into a building. This dream was given to me, I believe, in 2006. This dream actually came to pass. This dream, I believe, was about a Yankees baseball player, Corey Lindell, and his small airplane had indeed crashed in a building here in New York City. Okay, this is a different dream. This dream was given to me in September 27th, 1990. And in this dream, I believe I was at an airport. And at the airport, I seen this black triangular aircraft descending out of the clouds. And it was projecting 3 beams of light from its belly. And I interpret this object, this triangular object, as the Concorde, and that this dream was telling me that one of the French Concords or the British Concords will crash one day. And of course it happened. The Concorde did crash, I believe, in the year 2000. This is a different dream. This dream, I believe, was given to me in 2011. Or it might have been given to me in December 18th, 2010. Unfortunately, I've forgotten to put this dream drawing in Parrish Prophecy 5. And in this dream, I recall that I may have been downtown Brooklyn around Court Street, and I noticed a big airplane descending out of the clouds. This airplane was actually falling out of the clouds, and it was heading towards water. Here in downtown Brooklyn, there's water around that area, like I said, the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And this thing just came out of the clouds and was heading towards the river. Next things I seen inside this dream were people and luggage floating in the water, and I seen that the plane was broken in half. This is a different dream. This dream was given to me in May 2010. This dream is in Parrish Prophecy 5. And in this dream, I was shown a flood coming in Brooklyn, New York, or an American inner city. And I looked up in the sky and I took notice of this strange aircraft that was just flying around in the sky in a roller coaster motion. Different dream. This dream was given to me in July 23rd, 2010. And in this dream, I was in the East New York section of Brooklyn. And I believe I was looking out a window. I also believe I was inside my old home in East New York. And I looked up into the sky and I'd seen this, I believe it was a cargo airplane descending out of the sky. More or less it was falling out of the sky, and I was able to see its wheels underneath it. This thing was big, and it was flying very low towards the ground, and I guess it leveled off, and I believe it was heading towards John F. Kennedy Airport. Same dream, July 23rd, 2010. After the huge airplane had flown past my house or wherever I was situated inside this dream, I seen a smaller, I believe, also cargo airplane descend out of the clouds, and it was flying very low towards the ground, and it too also leveled off and headed towards, or they had flown towards John F. Kennedy Airport. Okay, this is a different dream. This dream was given to me earlier. It was given to me July 2nd, 2010. And in this dream I seen, this time around it was nighttime. And I was in the same location. I was in East New York, looking out a window of my old home in East New York, Brooklyn, and I heard a airplane flying overhead. Then I looked up and I was able to see the airplane itself. The airplane that was making all the airplane noise over the house I was in, and it too flown very low towards the ground, and it also leveled off, and it continued to fly towards John F. Kennedy Airport. And after this plane had left my sight, I took notice of another big airplane, and I was able to see its underbelly, and this thing also was flying towards the ground, and it also leveled off, and it headed towards John F. Kennedy Airport. Now I think in this dream, or the other dream drawing that I showed you guys with the airplane flying very low towards the ground and level off and heading towards John F. Kennedy, I think an angel told me that the great winds that was blowing in the heavens had forced these planes down or close towards the earth. In other words, the wind had brought these planes down. Okay, this is a different dream. This dream was given to me in April 18, 2010. And I was in the East New York section of Brooklyn again. And I believe I was on the corner of Ashford Street and Workman Avenue. And then all of a sudden I seen this huge, elongated white airplane just fly over this house, and it's flown so low I couldn't believe it. This thing practically scared me to death. This thing came from nowhere, and my heart, skipped a few beats when I seen this thing. This thing was unbelievable. It terrified me. This strange looking aircraft, this strange looking airplane, and it was so long. I mean, I seen it first before I heard it. And this thing was heading, I believe, a different direction where John F. Kennedy Airport is. It was more or less heading the opposite way from John F. Kennedy Airport. Yeah, this is a different dream. This dream was about a humongous airplane that has emerged from behind a boomerang cloud. I just showed you guys, I guess, some frames ago or some pictures earlier back of a very long boomerang shaped cloud which hovered over the homes across the street from me here in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York. This thing was, I believe, a white, humongous airplane. Different dream. This dream was given to me in December 17th, 2009. And in this dream, I seen 1, 2, 3 white single-engine airplanes flying over my home, and these 3 airplanes were heading towards the Brooklyn Clock Tower, which is located near downtown Brooklyn, New York. Different dream. This dream was given to me in January 20th, 2010, I believe. And in this dream, once again, I was located in East New York, Brooklyn, New York. And I believe I was looking out my window of my old home there. And I noticed these silver or white or metallic looking airplanes, which were not commercial airplanes. These airplanes were heading towards John F. Kennedy Airport. I believe the airplanes were military airplanes. Different dream. This dream was given to me in July 8th, 2010. Once again, I was inside East New York, Brooklyn. And once again, I was looking out a window of my old home there. And I noticed, again, silver or metallic looking or whatever, white I guess, non-commercial airplanes flying towards John F. Kennedy Airport. Same dream. After I seen the airplanes fly past my window, I took notice of silver, metallic, or white looking non-commercial helicopters. Well, I believe these helicopters were military helicopters, and they also flown towards John F. Kennedy Airport. The helicopters has flown right after the fleet of airplanes flown past my house or my old home in East New York. Different dream. This dream was given to me in October 6, 2011. And in this dream, once again, I found myself in East New York, Brooklyn, New York. But this time I was not in my old home. I was in the backyard of it. And I was speaking with someone. And all of a sudden I heard sounds of many airplanes. And then I looked up and I'd seen these silver, metallic, white looking airplanes, which were not commercial. They were flying very low, as you see. And I decided to go in my pocket when I took notice of the airplanes. And I pulled out a flip camera and I began to take video footage of the silver looking non-commercial airplanes. And these airplanes were heading towards John F. Kennedy Airport. They were heading to John F. Kennedy Airport in a hurry. Different dream. In this dream, I was shown the map of the world. I'm not sure why I was shown the map of the world, Well, in any case, I took notice of North America. I think it was very dark here, and some lights were on, and most of the lights were off. I believe a big blackout might have taken place inside this dream. Next is a dream I had, I believe in 2001 or 2002, of some type of nuclear incident that had taken place, I believe, in the state of Washington. Okay, I forgot to show you guys a drawing I made about an airplane, helicopter, and blimp which have flown over Brooklyn skies, and the drawing of the blimp and airplane and helicopter is in my YouTube channel called Captain Parrish, and is in Parrish's Future Prophecy Part 2, Section 4, 1 of 5, letter A through H, Reload, Future Events. And I uploaded this dream in October 19, 2011. And this, if you please, give me your ears.
The next number in this piece is the number 2. This piece is called Section 4, 1 Airplane Dream, or S4, 1AID. In the month of January 24, 2009, I recorded this dream in my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was at Astor Street and that I looked out of my bedroom window, and I looked up into the day sky, and I beheld 3 objects in the sky. I believe I seen a military plane, which could have been a B-52 bomber, a helicopter, and a blimp. These 3 objects moved very slowly across the sky in a triangular formation. These objects flown under gray clouds. I was in a state of awe because these aircrafts almost filled the entire sky with their presence. Then I yelled at someone in my house to get a camera or something so that I can record what was going on in the sky. No one brought a camera to me, so I continued to observe these 3 aircrafts. Then the military plane and the helicopter had flown out of my sight, but the blimp stayed in the day sky for a while longer. Then the blimp ascended further up into the clouds. I got the impression that this blimp now wanted to hide itself above the gray clouds. And there's a drawing of this dream. As you see, there's the airplane, there's the blimp at the bottom, and a helicopter, which all 3 form a triangular formation in the sky.
Okay, in this same video, I am speaking about an atomic bomb incident that has taken place, I believe, in the Atlantic Ocean.
The next number in this piece is the number 3. This piece is called Section 4, 1 Atomic Bomb Dream, or S41ATOD. In the month of February 8, 2009, I recorded this dream in my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was around Coney Island. In this dream I dreamt that I heard someone say something about a booming sound, which was heard by many people in Brooklyn, New York. The sound sounded like a booming noise or some kind of sonic boom, which were heard by many people, especially by people who live in Coney Island. Next I seen in this dream was a large body of water, which I believe was the Atlantic Ocean, which is around Coney Island. In this dream, I also seen a giant mushroom cloud at the edge of this ocean horizon. Then I seen a calendar which read February 29th. I was unable to see the year. Then I woke up from this dream, and there's also a drawing of this dream. There's a body of water, and way in the distance is the giant mushroom cloud, which I see.
Different dream. This dream was given to me, I believe, in December 12, 2002. And in this dream, I believe an atomic bomb or nuclear device that exploded somewhere in an American city. Then the next and last thing I noticed inside this dream were people fleeing their homes, and they were just running in the streets. And I believe after this atomic bomb or whatever it was that had exploded in the sky, I began to see something that appeared to be meteors or maybe missiles descending out of the sky. Different dream. This dream is about I believe a nuke that have gone off somewhere in Brooklyn or near Brooklyn, New York. And this is more or less the neck of this mushroom cloud. Different dream. This dream showed me a freeway or highway, and there were many cars on this freeway, and they were all going the same direction. And believe it or not, in the background I'd seen, I believe, cars being lifted up in the air. Different dream. This dream was given to me in 2011 and is in Parrish Prophecy 5. And this dream, once again, I was in the East New York section of Brooklyn, and I noticed that a helicopter somehow became embedded in a very tall tree. I believe hurricane winds may have forced the helicopter to more or less crash into this tree. Same dream. After I took notice of the helicopter, the next thing that was shown to me was this tree, which was uprooted. I think a powerful hurricane wind uprooted this tree. Different dream. This dream was given to me in February 4th, 2010. And this dream showed me a volcano, more or less a picture of a volcano that have gone off somewhere in the world. And I heard people say that the eruption of this particular volcano is quite odd, that they was saying that this seldom ever happened to this volcano. And as you see, this is more or less a snapshot. I believe I have seen this volcano on an internet or on TV inside my dream. Like I said, this thing was more or less a snapshot of the volcano that have gone up somewhere. As you see the lava flowing on the ground, and more lava is being ejected out of the volcano. And the background is just blanket with volcanic ash. Different dream. This dream was given to me in 2011, and this dream is about a volcano that have gone off somewhere. Different dream. The person that you see here wearing a purple shirt is me, and I stood with someone, and we both were looking at 4 buildings that appeared to merge into one building. And I believe these 4 buildings were the 4 buildings that were more or less damaged during 9/11 near the World Trade Tower. Okay, I believe this is a different drawing, but this dream was given to me in 1990. This is more or less a copy of the original drawing. This person that's holding his hands over his ears is me, and these 2 guys are my brothers, and they were gazing upon the World Trade Tower, and across from the World Trade Tower was this futuristic building. And over the World Trade Tower and the futuristic building was a spiraling cloud of some sort. And at the base of the World Trade Tower, and this futuristic building was just engulfed with black smoke or dark gray clouds. This dream was horrifying. I was afraid to look upon the structures in the background. This dream more or less has something to do with the 9/11 event that would take place 10 years later after this dream. Different dream. This dream, I believe, was given to me in March 5th, 1992. And this thing also had something to do with the World Trade Tower, or this dream was more or less telling me that something bad will happen to the World Trade Tower. As you see, people are just staring up into the sky, and they were just looking at the 3 airplanes that were flying over the World Trade Tower. So the first airplane, second, and the third. And 2 airplanes that hit the World Trade Tower, and I think a month later a 3rd plane had hit homes or crashed upon homes somewhere in Queens, New York, near John F. K. Airport. Different dream. This dream was given to me in 2009, and it's in one of my prophecies. And this dream showed me the Empire State Building collapsing in broad daylight. Different dream. This dream is about the Empire State Building, and in this dream I believe this is me jokingly trying to lift up with my bare hands the Empire State Building. Different dream. This dream was given to me in June 3rd, 2010, and this dream is about the Brooklyn Clock Tower, located near downtown Brooklyn or in downtown Brooklyn, New York. Different dream. This dream was given to me in April 9th, 2010. And I was gazing upon the City Court building located in Manhattan, New York, and I'd seen men on top of this building, and it appeared that they was doing maintenance on top of this building. And I also noticed a great deal of wind was blowing around. As you see in the distance, clouds and darkened clouds above. In this dream, I was shown simultaneously 3 structures. And in this dream, as you see on the right, this is my conception, at least from a frontal view of the Brooklyn Bridge. And in the middle is the Empire State Building. And next to it is the MTV building, located in a heart of Times Square. And this dream was given to me in December 16, 1996. In this dream, I believe the bridge was more or less telling me that someone or some type of construction worker will be killed, which actually happened after I jumped above the Brooklyn Bridge, Empire State Building, and this building. And in the middle is the Empire State Building, and in the year February 24th, 1997, I believe a man on top of the Empire State Building observation deck began to shoot at people, and I think he also killed himself with his own handgun. And this building here, I think, was telling me that MTV would relocate from, I think, from the eastern side of Manhattan to the western side of Manhattan, which is the location of this building. And I think this dream is more telling me that the MTV studio will just move into this building and it will draw a lot of people around this building. Different dream. This dream is about President Obama and his wife, and that they were dressed in leather, and I believe they were upon a stage, and I also believe that they were somewhere in Times Square or inside one of many Broadway shows, and they was just dressing up this way for some type of entertainment purpose. Different dream. This dream was given to me in 2003, and this dream showed me a ship or submarine that was having trouble at sea. And at the end of the dream, I seen people being rescued. I seen a helicopter rescuing the people out of the water. Different dream. This dream, I believe, was about a flood that came into Brooklyn, New York. And I had seen some people upon a rock or inside a park. And I believe in the distance is a damaged bridge. And in the background is that building that houses MTV building, located in the heart of Times Square. Different dream. This dream was given to me on April 9th, 2009. And I'm inside a person's room, and I was looking through this person's room window, and I noticed one-story homes began to collapse all together, like they began to collapse in some type of sinkhole. And I heard many people scream. Same dream. After I took notice of homes collapsing, I was then shown a one-story brick home, and I believe this is some type of boardwalk, and I seen things or trees that looked to be palm trees, and over the palm trees was this huge tidal wave of water, this tsunami, this about to come inland. Same dream. And in this dream, the tidal wave of water crashed upon this one-story brick home. And as you see, I've seen starfishes and shells and creatures of the sea. And I believe I may have been in Florida or some other East Coast city. Same dream. After the water came upon the one-story brick home, I was then shown this scene. I was inside some type of project or public housing, and this black guy was in his pockets. I think he was trying to look for his set of keys, and before across from him, I noticed, I think, an NYPD police officer or a police officer from another state. Anyhow, this officer was dressed in dark blue clothing, or he was wearing a black police uniform. And in the background you see a third tidal wave or second tidal wave coming inland, and this thing was huge. It was taller than the building you see in the background. Same dream, and this drawing is the last dream drawing of this particular dream I am speaking about. Okay, in this dream I'm inside a public housing lobby, and the lobby was being flooded with water, and as you see, there are 3 people inside this lobby, and this short woman I picked up was telling the woman in front of her, on the count of 3, let us just open up our mouths and let the water come in to our lungs and allow the water to drown us, because there was no hope in sight of them getting out of the situation. And this guy is a black person, a black man, and outside I noticed was flooded, was full of water. Okay, I think, you know, everyone in this public housing area was drowning or have been drowned. And when I woke up from this dream, I actually was coughing as if I had swallowed some water inside this dream. I was so tied into this dream when I had waking up from it. This is a different dream. In this dream, I found myself stationed between 2 black guys, and there was water. In this dream, I think the water came from the Atlantic Ocean. I believe I was in Brooklyn, New York here. And the guys were drinking beer, and I picked up that they knew that their fate was sealed. They knew that they were about to pass away, because this water was really rising quickly, and they knew that they would drown in this water. As you see, the fishes. Same dream. In this dream, after the guys and I were about to, I guess, drown in the water, I seen this. I believe this is more or less what came upon the grounds of Brooklyn, and or maybe this is more or less showing me the Atlantic Ocean, that more tidal waves or tsunamis are on their way. Different dream. This dream showed me ocean water coming inland, and I believe this dark brown object is some type of levee, and this is more or less a boardwalk, and I think I may have been in New York City somewhere, and the water was really coming in, and I heard people say inside this dream, they said, same dream. And in this dream, the last thing I seen were rafters, inflatable rafters, and I'd seen a girl and a guy in a rafter. And in this dream, I believe I was actually inside this dream in this body of water, and I had a rafter with me, and as you see, it's empty now, but I was planning to go inside this rafter and just ride out this flood that came into Brooklyn, I believe, Brooklyn, New York. And this is the last picture of my prophecies. Thank you for watching. Same dream, and in this dream, the last thing I seen were rafters, inflatable rafters, and I'd seen a girl and a guy in a rafter, and in this dream, I believe I was actually inside this dream in this body of water, and I had a rafter with me, and as you see, it's empty now, but I was planning to go inside this rafter and just ride out this flood that came into Brooklyn, I believe, Brooklyn, New York. And this is the last picture of my prophecies.